the Lord's return. The Lord's return. And for that, we're going to be looking in the book of Matthew this evening, chapter 25, starting with verse 31. We all know, for the most part, we do know in Hebrew, or 1 Thessalonians, where it talks about the coming of the Lord. That the dead in Christ shall rise first, and we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them. But then there's also something else. The great white throne judgment that we're all going to be at. That it's there to separate the saved from the unsaved, or the righteous from the unrighteous. And how do we know this? Is because it's in here. But see, the first thing we got to look at is the coming of the Lord. Is point number one. The coming of the Lord. It says when verse 31. It says when the Son of Man shall come in His glory, and all the holy angels with Him, then shall He sit upon the throne of His glory. Think about it. When the Son of Man comes. The Son of Man comes. He's coming back. He really is. People say, when? When? They've been saying this for years, that Jesus is coming back again. They say that He's coming back at any moment. I remember hearing this when I was a little kid. Most of you've heard it all your life, haven't you? Jesus Christ is coming back. My kids, they've heard it all their life. Jesus Christ is coming back soon. Jacob's 22 years old. 22? 23. 23. Sorry. 23 years old. He's heard it from the time that he was born that Christ is coming back. Really? Where is He? If He's coming back again, where is He? So there's this thing going on that we have to look at. What about all the unsaved people right now? That say, oh, you've been saying this for years. Have I been saying this for years, guys? Yes. Oh, why should we believe you? You've been saying this for a long time. Or why should we believe the church? Is because they've been saying it ever since Paul in the Bible, that He's going to return. Why should we believe that? That's a good question. Really. If everybody's been saying it, from a worldly standpoint, okay? If everybody's been saying it, right? Why should they believe it? Because as Christians, we're not living like He's coming back. We're not living like He's coming again. We're not living like His return is imminent. We're not. So why should they believe us? No, Matthew 25, verse 32 now. Matthew. The separation of the sheep and goats. Separation of the sheep and goats. Let's look at verse 32. Before Him shall be gathered all nations, and He shall separate them one from another, as the shepherd divides his sheep from the goats. And they shall sit set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. See, there's going to be a separation. Shouldn't there already be a separation between Christians and unsaved, or the world? Shouldn't we live a separated life? We should be we shouldn't be in the world living as they live. We live in the world, but we shouldn't be among the world, or as Melissa just said, we're just passing through. Think about this. There should be a difference between the sheep that Jesus says that knows my voice and the goats. Goats are, because sheep are dumb. They really are. They're dumb creatures. If one runs off this way, they all run off this way. But goats, they're stubborn things. They fight back. I remember one time that one of my brothers, one of my mom's friends, had goats. A billy goat, matter of fact, Rick. And he came up to him and pushed it on the horns. And he didn't do anything. He pushed it again. It didn't do anything. He got bored of pushing the horns. He turned around. The billy goat did push back. If you did that to a sheep, well, what is a sheep going to do? Nothing. Not one bit. But a billy goat will fight back. See, we are supposed to be of the sheep, not living with the goats. The sheep and goats eat the same thing, yes. Can they mingle? Yeah, they can. As in sheep and goats. But when the master calls, the sheep come running. And the goats stay. The goats look at the sheep like, what are you doing? There's got to be a separation. But once he comes back, we're all gathering together. It just said this. We're all gathering together. And he's going to separate his sheep from the world's goat. You see that? There's going to be a separation. We're going to be, it says, he's going to set the sheep on his right hand and the goats on his left. Excuse me. Point number 4. I got 8 points, so I'm going a little fast on this. Point number 4. The Lord is taking notes. The Lord is taking notes. Let's look at it. And then the king saith say unto them on his right hand, Come, and come, ye blessed of my Father's inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the earth. Verse 35. I was hungry, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. God is taking notes. God knows when we're going out visiting people. God knows when we go visit them in the hospital. God knows when we are going to visit them in jails. He knows what we want to do. They were hungry, and you fed me. Or you gave me meat. See, or you could say these are ministries that God wants us to start. From the get-go, we wanted to start a what? A food pantry. We still do. He wanted us to start a food pantry. That's giving them food and drink there. See, you can look at it going, these are ministries that God wants churches to do. I was naked, and you clothed me. One of Melissa's ideas was to do what? Study missions closet. Doing what? Giving missionaries clothes if they need it, or things that they need. You wonder where she got it from. The Bible says to do that, right? See, God's taking notes. God knows when we go and say, hey, Rick, I need you to go see Billy tonight. He's sick. Can you go check up on him? Rick says, sure, I'll go. Rick goes and checks on Billy. Jacob and Jordan, I need you to go see the Cataclysm. Well, we haven't seen them in a little while. Sure, we'll go. Desiree, I need you to go see Papa and Grandma's because we haven't seen them in a while. I'm not going. Hold on. Well, what if she did say that? God's taking notes. God's taking notes. See, we have to remember. Let's look at what the other ministries, I call them ministries, are. I was hungry. We gave them out of our food. We can give them out of meat out of our food pantry. We don't have one right yet, but that will come. I was thirsty. We can give them drink out of our food ministry, our food pantry, when we have it. We do not have one just yet. I gotta say this because it's on Facebook, okay? So that they understand that we don't. I was a stranger, or had nowhere to stay. I was a stranger, and you took me in. We have what? A mission house. Strangers call me all the time and ask me if our mission house is open. We take them in. See, God's taking notes of everybody we do this for. He's taking notes. I was naked, and He clothed me. We have a missions closet. We do have that. As a matter of fact, we have given clothes to missionaries and the people that needed them. Family that's desperately in need. We have done that. We have gone to the hospitals when people are sick. Matter of fact, we've even gone to their houses and brought them soup and stuff like that when they are sick, visiting them. We don't have right now a nursing home ministry. We don't have a prison ministry. We don't have an evangelist outreach ministry. Some of you are looking at me, what am I talking about? Going to like the watermelon festival and doing some kind of outreach there. Maybe selling something on the side, but giving the gospel out. evangelist outreach. See, but those things that we can do, we can do them. From what I understand, Rick, well, we used to have a nursing home ministry, right? We can start back up. But let's look at this. The righteous answered with a question. The righteous answered with a question. That's in verse 37. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee hunger and fed thee, thirst, and gave thee drink? When we saw thee a stranger and took him in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when we saw thee sick, or in prison, we came to thee. See, think about this. They're asking this question, well, which we would ask. When did I see you? When did all this happen? I don't remember giving you a glass of water that you were thirsty. I don't remember saying, oh, you're hungry? Sure, come on in. I've got food on the table. I don't remember this. You're sick? Here, let me help you. You're in prison? Let me go visit you. You're naked? Let me clothe you. Lord, when did we see you like this? See, that's the anthem. That's what it should be. Doing it not for a reward. Doing it because it's needed to be done. But not just needed to be done, doing because we're willingly wanting, or because we want to do this. We want to help. We want to help. See, all this stuff here is helping people when they're hungry, when they're thirsty, when they're strangers, when they're naked, when they're sick or in prison. That's 6 ministries right there. We're not doing too bad, we're doing 3 of the 6. But think about this, guys, ladies. We will be asking the question, Lord, when did we do this? The Lord's answer is point number 6, the Lord's answer. There we find that in verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, as much as ye have done it unto the least of my brethren, ye have done it unto me. The least. Not the greatest. You see that? Not the greatest of the brethren, but the least of the brethren. That goes back to what I was talking about this morning, about a homeless person coming in and stinking. What are we going to do? Are we going to shun them? Or are we going to invite them in and worship with them? See, perfect. Homeless man might be hungry. Matter of fact, we've had homeless people come in here already. Slept right outside. Rick gave them, I think it was 2 bottles of water. And they were thirsty. Matter of fact, there was one time, I don't know if y'all realized it or not, but we had a homeless man in here. He came back and sat right back in the back pew. He was hungry. We fed them. They were having a dinner on the grounds. We had two times, another time, a lady was trying to get to Singing River Hospital, I think it's called. She needed some gas. We fed them before they left. We gave them a drink. We put gas in their tank. I'm not trying to pass on the buck by no means. But least of the brother. The least. If we do it to one of our own, God is saying, you've done it with me. Sometimes, there's another part of Scripture that says it's angels unaware. It could have been an angel coming in here and acting not a homeless and be an angel unaware. We never knew it. See, we can't stop doing whatever it takes to get the job done. And if it's feeding someone, we'll feed them. If they need a bottle of water, we'll give them a bottle of water. If they need clothes, we can clothe them. They need shelter. Matter of fact, I remember one time that people riding on a bicycle wanted to camp out into the out back here. And I told Rick, no, this is when we first got here. I told him, Rick, no, tell them they can stay in the mission house, because that's what it's there for people to have shelter. They were up and gone even before Rick got up. I don't know if they've ever came back and asked to do it again. That was totally strangers. Not knowing who they were, if they were going to rob us or not, we still allowed it. Because I remember this verse. Let's go on. The unrighteous answer. The unrighteous answer, or the goats. Answer 41. And then they shall say unto him on the left hand, and then he shall say unto them on the left hand, depart from me, cursed, unto an everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. I was hungry, and you gave me no meat. I thirst, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in. I was naked, and ye clothed me not. I was sick, and in prison, and ye visited me not. See, that's what the world does. Think about this. The world, when something goes on, I remember, not where I lived, but in New York at the time, you heard of people being interviewed by the news saying, did you see what was happening? Yes, I did. Why didn't you step in and do something? Oh, it's none of my business. Oh, that's none of my business. Oh, you're hungry. No, I'm sorry, but that's none of my business. I don't have the food. I don't have enough for you and me. And they got a refrigerator full. Oh, you're thirsty? I'm sorry, but go get a job. Get your own food. Get your own drink. Get your own shelter. See, that's what the world says. Now, does it mean that we have to take everybody that comes our way and says, oh, I'm hungry, oh, I'm thirsty, oh, I need shelter, oh, I need clothes? No. Our policy is with some of this stuff is we help them once. We help them once. Why is that? Because if we help them more than once, they're going to start taking advantage of it. They're going to come back every couple months and say, oh, I need this. Oh, I need this. And when we can't do that. We're not that big, very big of a church to be able to do stuff like that. But see, the unrighteous people, they're pushing them aside from the get-go. Pushing them aside. Oh, those are the scum of the earth. We don't talk to them. We don't, people in prison, they deserve to be in prison. I'm not going to go visit them. They deserve it. Oh, they're homeless? What did they do to get homeless? Well, I talked about that this morning. One guy that I knew, it was a challenge to him. But right, not a lot of people are that way. Some of them are vets that fall through the crack. Our American vets that served in wars that have fallen through the cracks. Oh, they deserve it. Do you know their backstory? They need clothes. I'm not giving them any of mine. See, that's what the unjust says, for the unrighteous. But God answers them too. God answers them. We see that God's answer is, back up in verse 41, it says, depart from me, ye cursed, unto an everlasting fire. Cursed. That's God's answer to the unjust, to the unrighteousness, the unrighteous, being cast into the lake of fire. That has reference to Revelations, verse 21, where it says they were cast, death and hell was cast into the lake of fire. This is second death. See, think about this. There's the answer. And these shall go, verse 46, and these shall go away unto an everlasting punishment, but the right hand until life eternal. See, I don't know about you, but I want to take as many people to heaven with me as I possibly can. And if that means that we go into the highways and byways and the hedges and compel them to come in and show them Jesus Christ in a way that they've never seen before, we need to do it.
Right.
We need to do it. Because there's so many people hurting out there that need help, but they don't know where to turn. They're crying out, Lord, if you're real, send someone my way. You know, we've stopped going soul winning for a reason. We have not gone soul winning since middle of February. Why? Because of COVID-19. Or COVID-19, but the coronavirus, whatever it's called. The COVID-19, there it is. Easier to say. But think about it. Because people started panicking. And like I was talking to my father-in-law in my office, I said, you know, it's probably not best for us to be going out of this moment in time, is because with this coronavirus going around, they're going to get upset with us. They're already getting upset with us as it is. But us knocking on the door and talking to them, how many people are going to answer? And so we haven't done it. You know, on the Saturday morning, Rick, I wake up about 7 o'clock, and I feel weird not getting up and going and coming to church to go knocking on doors. Yeah, we can still pass tracts out when we're at the grocery store and stuff like that, yes. But see, ever life eternal, it says right here, for the people on the right hand. My question is, I know just about everybody in the world, everybody's testimony here in the church. But on Facebook and YouTube, my question is, are you going to have it? Do you have eternal life? Are you doing the things that God has asked you to do? Or are you telling him